Stop buying these 7 things if you want wealth. You know that feeling when you check your bank account at the end of the month and you're just confused? Like, you made decent money, you didn't go on any crazy shopping sprees, but somehow there's less there than there should be. And you start scrolling through your transactions trying to find the culprit, except there isn't one big thing. It's just 100 small things. A subscription here, a convenience purchase there, that thing you bought on sale, even though you didn't really need it. My name is Frank, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, financial psychology, and why some people seem to effortlessly build wealth while others stay stuck in the same financial patterns for decades. And what I've discovered is that wealth isn't really about how much you make. It's about what you don't buy. Every dollar you spend is a dollar that can't work for you. It can't be invested. It can't grow. It can't compound. So today we're breaking down 7 things you need to stop buying if you actually want to build wealth. Thing number 1, brand new cars. Stop buying brand new cars. The average new car loses about 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Not over the first year, the moment you leave the dealership. Say you buy a $35,000 new car. In the first year alone, that car will depreciate about $7,000 to $8,000. If instead you bought a 3-year-old version for $22,000 and invested the $13,000 difference in an index fund earning 10% annually, that money would grow to about $34,000 in 10 years. You know what a lot of millionaires drive? Toyotas and Hondas that are several years old. They understand that a car is a tool to get from point A to point B. It's a depreciating asset that should cost you as little as possible while still being reliable. But we've been conditioned to see our cars as status symbols. The car industry spends billions on advertising that's all about image and emotion. But every dollar you spend trying to look wealthy is a dollar you can't use to actually become wealthy. Thing number 2, luxury brand clothing and accessories. Stop buying luxury brands just for the logo. When you buy a plain white t-shirt for $15 and then see the same t-shirt with a designer logo for $150, what are you actually paying for? You're paying $135 for a logo, for the ability to signal that you can afford that brand. If you're spending an extra $500 per month on luxury items, that's $6,000 a year. Over 30 years, if that money was invested earning 8% return, you'd have over $700,000. That's retirement, that's freedom, but instead it's sitting in a closet, slowly going out of style. And here's the trap. You create a lifestyle expectation you feel you need to maintain. You've identified yourself as someone who wears these brands, so you need to keep wearing these brands. You're constantly spending to maintain an image of wealth rather than building actual wealth. Wealthy people buy nice things after they're wealthy, not instead of becoming wealthy. Thing number 3, daily coffee shop visits. The average person who stops at Starbucks every morning is spending about $6. That's $30 a week, $120 a month, $1,440 a year. But that's not really the point. The point is what that daily coffee run represents. It represents a small decision you're making on autopilot, without thinking about it. And if you're making this decision about coffee, you're probably making similar decisions about lunch, about drinks, after work, about everything. It's never really about the coffee. It's about the pattern. Coffee on the way to work, $6. Forgot to pack lunch, $12. Too tired to cook dinner, $25. You just spent $43 in a single day and none of it felt like a big deal. Multiply that by 250 workdays, that's over $10,000. If you made coffee at home, packed your lunch, and meal prepped dinners, your cost might be $8 for the whole day. You save $35 per day, which over 250 days is $8,750. Invested over 30 years at 8% returns? About $1 million from coffee, lunch, and dinner. But it's not about deprivation. It's about making conscious choices instead of defaulting to convenience. Thing number 4, unused subscriptions and memberships. This one is insidious because it's passive. You sign up, use it for a while, then forget about it. But that $9.99 keeps coming out every month. The average American spends $200 to $300 per month on subscriptions. When surveyed, people guess they spend about $80 per month when they're actually spending closer to $220. That gap is where wealth goes to die. Streaming services, gym memberships you don't use, subscription boxes, apps you downloaded once, free trials that converted to paid subscriptions. It all adds up. When's the last time you looked at every recurring charge on your credit card? For most people, never. Companies count on this. They know the friction of canceling keeps people subscribed even when they're not getting value. Pull up your statements. List every recurring charge. Ask yourself, did I use this last month? Would I sign up again today? If the answer isn't an enthusiastic yes, cancel it. Thing number 5. Financed furniture and home decor. Stop financing furniture. Someone moves into a new place and goes to a furniture store advertising no money down, no payments for 12 months. They walk out with $10,000 worth of furniture, now making payments with 20% interest rates. But furniture doesn't appreciate. The moment you get it home, it's worth maybe 30% of what you paid. Look at Facebook Marketplace. Barely used furniture sells for a fraction of retail because furniture has terrible resale value. You can get a functional couch for $200 used. You can eat at a $50 IKEA table. You can make do and slowly upgrade over time. That $10,000 invested at 10% for 10 years becomes $26,000. By waiting, you could furnish your home twice as nicely and still come out ahead. But we're comparing ourselves to social media and feeling like our homes should look perfect right now. What we don't see is that many of those people are financing everything and drowning in debt. This is lifestyle inflation. As soon as you get money or credit, instead of saving it, you upgrade your lifestyle. But your lifestyle can expand infinitely, while your ability to earn has limits. Thing number 6. The latest tech and gadgets. The constant need to have the latest tech is costing you. A new flagship phone costs $800 to $1,200. Companies have convinced us we need to upgrade every 2 years, but the phone you have right now is probably fine. I used to upgrade constantly. Now I keep my phones for 4 or 5 years and my life isn't worse for it. The phone still does everything I need. Before buying tech, ask yourself 3 questions. Will this solve a problem I have? Is what I have now unable to do what I need? Will I still be using this a year from now? If you can't give strong answers, don't buy it. If you spend $1,500 every 2 years on phones, that's $750 per year. Keep your phones for 5 years and invest that $750 annually. And after 30 years at 8% returns, you'd have about $85,000 just from phones. The tech industry has convinced us we need to constantly upgrade, but wealthy people are usually not the ones with the newest everything. They're running phones that are years old because they understand that wealth is about freedom, not stuff. Thing number 7, emotional purchases and retail therapy. Stop using shopping as therapy. Stop making purchases when you're emotional. You had a terrible day, so you stop at Target and walk out having spent $150 on stuff that felt good in the moment. Or you're scrolling late at night feeling stressed and buy something that seems like it'll make you happier. Emotional purchases feel good for about 30 seconds. That dopamine hit from clicking buy now? It's real, but incredibly short-lived. Retailers know which emotions drive purchases. Treat yourself. You deserve this. These phrases make you feel like buying something is self-care, when really, it's just commerce. Real self-care is having enough money that you don't stress about bills, being able to quit a job that makes you miserable, having investments that grow so you're not dependent solely on your paycheck. Here's a tip. Implement a 48-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over $50. If you want something, wait 48 hours. You'd be amazed at how often that impulse fades. This creates space between emotion and action, and that space is where wealth is built. Conclusion. So those are the 7 things: new cars, luxury brands, daily coffee runs, unused subscriptions, finance furniture, the latest tech, and emotional purchases. This isn't about deprivation, it's about being intentional. Wealth isn't built by what you earn, it's built by what you keep. For most people, these purchases are made on autopilot, without thought, and they're wondering why they can't get ahead financially. Building wealth is simple, just not easy. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference consistently, and avoid these money traps. But here's what makes it worth it. Wealth buys freedom. The freedom to leave a job you hate. The freedom to stop worrying about money and focus on what actually matters. That freedom starts with small decisions. Making coffee at home, driving your car an extra few years, canceling unused subscriptions, being aware of why you're buying what you're buying. Look at your own life. Be honest about which of these 7 things you're spending on. Even addressing 1 or 2 can free up thousands of dollars a year. You can keep doing what everyone else does, looking successful while being broke. Or you can do what wealthy people do. Live below your means, invest consistently, and build real wealth. The choice is yours.